Welcome, everybody. We're a little late, but busy. How's everybody doing this week? Go ahead, Brodyn.
Been good. Got out on Sunday and managed to get onto a few good fish and stuff. And pretty successful day. Even came home with a slot-sized walleye, so that was fun.
Nice. So the missus was impressed that you caught some fish for supper?
Well, like if anyone really knows me, I don't really bring fish home a lot. And so she's normally quite shocked when I do bring fish.
Yeah. You were chasing walleyes?
Chasing walleyes, and I threw out a couple of smaller dead baits out in the shallower water to see if any pike were starting to move up in the shallows.
Yeah. How was the bite?
She was pretty tough, but I managed to get quite a few walleye, and I think I finished with 3 pike.
Nice.
3 pike and a couple. One was over 3 foot. The others were like just under 3 foot.
Sweet. Yeah. How's it going, Sladen?
Going good.
What's new, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Just been working on some YouTube videos, trying to. Got a new GoPro, so been cooking up some stuff. I did an overnighter in my tent for the first time. That was good.
Sweet. What were you chasing?
Waking up to no heat.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't good. Yeah, that was not good.
So you got wheels this year?
I did.
Nice.
Chevy tractor.
Now you're unstoppable.
Not quite yet.
No.
Still working on the 4-wheel drive, so we're almost there, but
yeah,
not quite.
They'll come.
Yeah.
You're gonna do some more ice fishing?
Yeah, I'd like to get out for bulls here, and pike one time if I can.
Yeah.
I always like to try pike at the end of the year. It's usually when I do best.
Yeah, when they're putting the feed bag on.
Yeah. I'd like to go to Newell. I've never fished there before through the ice.
Yeah.
Try something different.
Yeah, for sure. It's a fun lake.
A lot of water to cover.
Yeah. Did you get out this weekend?
Yeah, a bit with the old man and then by myself. We did some perch fishing and we did all right. We're seeing some big perch at the village, like bigger, I should say, like 10 to 12 inches. So that's good.
Nice.
We probably caught a couple 11s and 10s. And then,
That's awesome.
Burbs has been really steady.
Yeah.
But you got to wait it out till the sun goes down.
Have you been seeing? Yeah. Have you been seeing some big whiteys roll through?
I don't really use the camera much, just because I burb it. Like when they get close to the hole, they like tend to ball up, and I just kept getting them wrapped in my camera cord. But my dad was out there today actually, and he didn't see any burbot. He just saw whites.
Yeah. Any big ones out there?
Not catching, seeing.
Yeah. I think my dad did that a couple weekends ago too. He was out there on the north end and he saw some big ones, but they wanted no part of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't. I've never really targeted whites, to be honest, through the ice.
Yeah. Gull seems to be a little trickier half the time.
Yeah. My dad's tried really, really hard, and he's only ever caught like 4 whites like years ago.
Yeah. Are you headed down south for bulls through the ice?
Yeah, to the mountains for sure.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm gonna go more for bulls and Lakers or bulls and cutties. I'm not quite sure yet.
For sure.
But I heard the ice for Lakers is kind of sketchy, so I don't know if I want to go that way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's never been that bad when I've been there, but you can hike on. So, what? Hey Dan, what were you using this weekend, Brodyn? I heard you said it was a little finicky, that bite.
Little finicky, but they weren't really going for the smaller presentations. They were going for a larger presentation, just sort of really slow moving. So I had was running a little size 00 Len Thompson gold and orange UV. I seem to have good success on that gold and orange spoon, like late season. A little bit bigger presentation, put a little bit of minnow on there, and just move it a little bit so it jiggles a little bit, like just not. Well, how do you say it? Not like how people just go like that with their rod. It's more like whacking it really hard, but only in a short space, and it gives it make that sort of spoon move side to side, sort of
like
not really. What's that?
Like a magnum jig.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically going side to side, and it's not really moving up and down, so it's not moving too far away from the walleye, but it's just going sporadically and causing a lot of flash. And then I've been using the Walleye Nation rip and glides.
Oh yeah,
they seem to. Cool. These ones seem to glide, or they seem when you pull them up, they seem to actually go sideways a lot further than some of the others, which is nice. The only other one that I know that goes a little bit further is those Rip and Chat or the Rapala Shadow Wraps or something, but they're like a lot bigger presentation.
Yeah.
So, but no, they're good.
Nice. What kind of gear have you been using lately, Sladen?
For this burbot, this is new, like, company I found out about this year. It's True North Baits. They make this, like, at first I wasn't a fan of the long body and, like, short tentacles, but I cut it up to make the tentacles longer, and it's just got, like, incredible glow, like, better glow than any tube I've ever used.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all about the stillness this year, which is super weird for my burbs. Like, caught barely any pound and bottom, like, maybe, like, pound bottom to, like, stir up some sediment and get them in, but usually it's like 6 inches off bottom, just dead sticking it.
Yeah. Looking for an easy, just an easy fat meal.
Yeah.
So they haven't been super aggressive then.
No.
Chasing.
Or I'll use like a super small jig head.
Yeah.
With a
darter.
Full.
Yeah. When me and Brodyn were there, he was ripping cranks and crushing them. So it was a little different bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me. I can't believe that.
Yeah, no, they loved them.
Me and my old man tried the cranks. Nothing.
I love my lipless cranks. I don't know. There's a lot, like, you're not the only one. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't seem to have the luck. But it's also, I find people have their confidence lures. And if you haven't, and a lot of people don't want to step out to something like that because, well, they tried it for about 5-10 minutes and they say, I'm not catching anything, and they swap it back out and never use it again.
That sounds like someone I know.
Who?
Brodyn will go through hooks like crazy if he's not catching.
Oh yeah, I'd chew through them. If I'm not catching something, I'm swapping it out. I'm not.
See, I'm the total opposite way. Me and my old man will fish. He'll like switch out his whole tackle box. If I have my confidence lures and I know I've caught fish on that, or like I have like 3 lures that like maybe like catch fish different days, so I'll just like try each of those lures for a really long time.
Yeah, nice. This year I did a lot of trying new hooks and it worked out. So on different species that I didn't think it'd work on. So it's pretty sweet to test out new stuff too.
Well, that's the thing. Those Walleye Nation ones are newer to me. I never really used to use those glide style. Used to use a lot of the vertical style, but those glide ones I never really tried, and used a couple of times here and there. But I tried them this year, and they've been working really well.
Yeah, they dance nicely around the hole under there.
Yeah,
and then it's more of a predatory kind of chase bite than anything because it's actually moving under the ice. little different action than what they're used to seeing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna chase next, Brodyn?
Well, this weekend I will be at the show, the Edmonton show, but the week after I will probably be either chasing some pike or I might be doing a run up for late ice brook trout.
Nice.
Yeah. Might try to find a little 18 or a 19-inch male.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Won't be
What do you
colored up
get?
much, but
Yeah, nice fire truck. What are you gonna chase there, Slade? And you got any plans for next weekend?
Like I was saying, maybe bulls if I can get out,
Yeah.
and probably go for bulls and big cutties. Never iced a cutty before,
Yeah,
and this year it's been a lot of trying to get different species through the ice that I've never got before.
yeah.
Biggest one I tried really hard for was brown, but just had no luck.
Didn't get it.
No.
There's still time.
Yeah, there is.
For open water, with it coming like pretty much a couple of weeks, the season opener for the creeks and rivers here in Central Alberta, kinda. Are you guys gonna get out on that?
Oh yeah.
that's definitely. I'll be getting all my fly rods and some fly lines set up, and going to be stocking up on a few crankbaits too. And I like to stir the pot with my fellow fly fishermen and run a crankbait through some of their stuff that they're not catching fish through.
Yeah.
Seems to upset them a little bit.
Sometimes they just work really good.
Well, that's the thing, and that's like every river and all that I'm going, I'll fly fish it, but then on the way back or something, I'll grab my spin rod out and I'll start ripping a crankbait through it. And sometimes you get a fish that wasn't wanting to fly, but something a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah. Sladen, you going for bulls and browns open water?
Yeah, I'll be on the Clearwater at midnight, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Going for the first fish of the year.
Yeah. Probably go right to cut off.
Oh yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
What kind of structure are you guys looking to fish in the rivers when you're chasing a brown, say, or a bull this time, or say April 1st?
April 1st, a few of the areas that I'll be fishing have got quite a few bigger logs and stuff. Like obviously after last year's flood, a lot of those logs got moved and rerouted. But I've marked a few spots and all that, so I'll be walking out and like sort of fishing some of those deeper holes that have got those larger logs and some of those trees that have fallen into the river. That's why I seem to find the larger browns. They're generally territorial, and even the bull trout. Yeah. I can generally see the same. Like I can generally know the spot and catch the same fish because browns like to return to their same spot unless they get pushed out by a bull or something like that. That I find.
What's gonna be the hook for your first cast?
Hook for my first cast is probably going to be a golden black Crelex, and then I'll probably get a little sneaky and double stream of that and run a white and silver Crelex about 1.5 feet behind that.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little interesting contraption.
Pardon?
It's an interesting contraption, and I've seen a few people look at me kind of funny, but it quickly, for me, it finds what they're eating a lot quicker running 2 streamers at once.
Yeah. Sounds like maybe a streamer in the back of the head.
No. I'm not that bad at fly casting.
What are you looking? What kind of area are you going to target, Sladen?
For browns, I'll definitely be looking like deep holes, but also like places where they can bathe, like sand bottoms and like 2 feet of water where they can just sit there and bathe. That's where I see a lot of browns. Every time I go brown fishing, I spook like 3 times more browns than I catch.
Oh yeah.
They're always out in the shallow, so I'll be ripping cranks through the shallow. Like this crankbait right here is my favorite brown trout crank. This is Ryan
Oh, yeah.
Brown's crank.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It
the
does
bloody
really
miracle.
good. Yeah, it does real good for me.
No, those have some really good action.
Or a brown trout crank. I do really good on that too for browns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the live target brown trout. That one's got some good action.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those things swim like crazy. Are you guys have any different lake trips planned for our first water there? Because I know April 1st, some lakes open, but it's still ice.
Yeah.
I think
What?
Sladen knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna hit it up or what?
I'm gonna try. Me and the old man always try
Yeah.
to hit it up if there's still ice. But
Yeah.
if not, I'd like to hit up Mininsky or something. It's like way up in Jasper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but there's big trout in there. Big
Oh,
trout.
yeah. Open water or ice in it?
Well, when I went down there for some snowboarding, I was talking to a guy who runs a charter season down there, and all the bays were like, it's like a lake, like Lake Minnewanka, like super deep.
Yeah.
But there's like super shallow bays, and he said all the trout are in the super shallow bays, and they usually ice off first. So try to get in there with a belly boat and some flippers.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be a sweet trip.
Oh yeah.
Get the video camera rolling.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get a lot of that this year.
Nice. Jay, what are you most looking forward to this season, Brodyn?
Probably got 3 or 4 hiking lakes planned. I know you and I were talking about one, and I've got another couple with a buddy Jason, and a 4th one down south. Hopefully, if I can line it up with Adam Turnbull, I'll be going down chasing some golden trout.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so hopefully, cutthroat trip, brook trout trip, golden trout trip, and another brook trout lake. Yeah,
Sweet.
so that'd be fun. Probably going to end up buying one of those ultralight belly boats and actually hike it up in there, because like those ultralight belly boats are like 7-8 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'll already be taking the waders up there, so it's only just that and a pair of flippers.
Yeah.
Hello, Denise.
What are you gonna pack on your trip?
Well, you know me, I like to pack a lot of stuff, but I am planning on reducing a lot of stuff. But for that, I'll probably just take the fly rods up, and I'll probably take my 4 weight and probably my 8 weight. Just it's easier to troll with and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll just take a couple of flies. I've got a couple of these boxes that I'll load up. I've bought a couple of new ones. They're pretty large. They're good for the kayak and such, but I'll rock a couple of those and probably a lot of dry flies, a few smaller nymphs. I would run a few streamers, but probably not a lot of streamers up in those lakes, just because there's not that sort of food source up there.
Yeah.
Probably run a lot of smaller flies.
Yes. Little midge patterns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Are you gonna pack a tent too and everything up there?
Oh yeah, that's the plan. I've got an ultralight tent I bought last year because I had planned to do a trip up pretty far up on the Lost Guide Lake. Unfortunately, that trip got moved because of the late ice off, and the trek that we were taking was right along the river and it flooded. So we'll that's a trip planned. And yeah, I've got the ultralight tent. I've got my jet boil. I'll probably 2 weeks beforehand, I'll make some dehydrated meals myself. Got a food dehydrator, so I'll make a few sort of lighter meals and pack as light as I can.
What do you think your pack will weigh?
She's probably going to be pushing 30. Yeah, 30 pounds. Probably a little bit heavier than 30 pounds, but
If
I've done
you
it
get
before.
down to 30 pounds, that'd be crazy.
Well, I looked into it because by the time my tent's only 3 pounds, sleeping bag's 2, and mat's only 2 pounds as well. And I'll be walking up with my my normal fly fishing boots on, so that's what takes the weight off. The flippers are only 1 pound, belly boat's 8 pounds, and then it's just basically some food and my jet oil. I looked into it, like as long as I obviously don't go too crazy with the flies and everything, I should be sort of low 30s.
So you're gonna get a Sherpa.
No.
Sounds like you need a Sherpa for just your tackle boxes.
Are you offering?
No. I'll take a helicopter.
Oh, I'm not doing that. No. That hike, I ain't doing that. That's stupid.
No.
I give credit to the guys who hike 20 kilometers up those things and do that, but I'm not hiking that.
Old Ricky did last year on the way out.
Yeah, he hiked down. Hiking down, like I still give him credit, but hiking down is a lot easier than hiking up.
I don't like hiking down. It's hard on the knees. But it is easier.
Yeah.
Do you have any overnight plans, Slayton?
Yeah, quite a few actually. I'd like to camp around Kananaskis. Found some really cool like walking trails, like back to like some crazy campsites.
Yeah.
And also on the Kananaskis River. Get way back there. There's some cool camp spots.
Sweet. Are you gonna pack in
Yeah.
a tent and everything?
Yeah, I usually just pack. I got a little like 3-man tent. I think it is. It's pretty small, and then I got like it's kind of like a jet boil, but like you use like I forget what's in them, but you buy like these little like can things, and they come with like this fluid in it, and you light it.
Yeah.
And I just use that, so I just heat up like canned stuff. Like I eat a lot of beefaroni. That's usually my go-to camping food.
That's a heavy pack, beefaroni.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get some backpack meals or sidekicks.
Yeah, I've never really like backpack walked anywhere. It's usually more like places where I can get in with my vehicle.
Yeah, I know. The first time we did Allstones, we didn't pack well either. I think our packs are like 100+ pounds, but we had like cast iron pans, belly boats, tents, waders, steak, bacon and eggs, a bottle or two of drinks, and it adds up quick. And we barely made it. I think there's a picture of Adam, and it looks like he's like a World War II vet just making it over this hill. Actually, he packed an RV mattress up on his back.
Oh.
It was rolled up foam. It's probably like this wide, about this long.
See, what I don't get about the packing up belly boats is my belly boats have like 4 pieces of foam. How do you pack that?
So
Mine doesn't have any foam.
no, like and that ultralight one that I'm looking at, it's like it's got 2 smaller pieces of foam, but it packs down to like it's almost packs a little bit bigger than what my sleeping bag is. It's super light and everything, and I'll just wrap that around the back of the backpack.
Yeah.
Like I probably don't have to take it up, but it's just more of the fact of like I think it'd be pretty cool, like floating through the middle of some of those mountain lakes.
Oh, it's awesome. Everyone's jealous.
Yeah.
they're not that bad. Like mine just has an floatable backrest, so you just take it down, and then you take down your tube and just bring a bike bump.
Yeah, and that's what this one looks like too. And so we were
Yeah.
looking at that. Like I took a lot of last year researching a lot of this gear and like finding the lightest stuff possible. Like not the stupidly light, but I found a lot of stuff that's super light. Like a lot of my pad, like then I spent a lot of money on it too. That's the thing. You spend the money, you can generally find good warm stuff that's super light, and that's what I like. Just my tent pad and sleeping bag. Yeah, there's 8-9 pound.
Yeah,
which is it's not
yeah,
too bad.
for sure. Yeah, no, it always adds up quickly because once you get toilet paper and everything,
The what?
then canister for water,
No, I've got
filter.
I've got that. What's it? I can't remember what it's called. It's
You got that little bag.
I've got the B3, and I bought I think it's called the Sinoc or something. It's a 3-liter water bladder that you fold pack down into like it's a tiny tube, but it fits the B3 filter system. So then so when you go up to the mountains and stuff, you can obviously use the water there, and that B3 system's pretty nice. And then if I'm a little bit worried about it, I filter it through there, and then I can boil it on the jet boil.
Yeah. Yeah, no, usually that mountain water's pretty clean.
Yeah.
The filters work perfect for them.
Yeah.
What kind of tent do you have then? You have a two-man?
Yeah, it's a 2-man. It's what is it? It's a North Face Stormbreaker, I think. And
Yeah.
I got that one on clearance because they decided to change the color up, and I bought the previous year's thing for like, what was it? It was like just over $100, and they're normally a $200 and something tent. So I got that, and it's nice with the 2-man, and especially when you look at the weight difference between a 1-man and a 2-man. It's marginal difference, and you get so much more space to keep your gear dry and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What say someone's trying to get into fly fishing this year, what would you guys recommend for just the starting off package?
Like rod?
Yeah, rod, waders, whatever. What should a first timer have?
TFO complete for sure.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're new to fly fishing and you break it, like practicing or something, it's got lifetime warranty. Like I've got my tip fixed like 2 times already. I've sent my reel back. So they got a really nice rod.
Yeah.
I do
I'd
agree.
probably start off like 4 or 5 weight or like 5-6 weight. You don't want too much of a noodle to begin with.
No.
Yeah. No, I do second that. TFO's probably got the best warranty around, especially when they're based out of Well, they've got one of those warehouses in Calgary, so you can get stuff pretty quickly replaced. And yeah, like I said, good 4, 5, 6 sort of weight is a good all-round rod. And I actually really like those, what are they? Those Reddington Path setups. They come pre-set up and all that thing, and they're a solid rod. And when you get half decent at casting and all that, you just swap that line out and get a decent line. And I've still got my Path and the same reel and everything, and that thing. I don't think I'll ever replace my 6 weight unless I break it, and that's the thing. Like I wouldn't upgrade rod. It's a solid rod for the price.
Nice. What would you guys recommend for waders and boots?
Canadian Tire has great starting waders.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like Sims and stuff. Those, if you're just getting into it, those are quite expensive.
Yeah.
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 Expensive. And you got to buy like boots too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you said, the Canadian Tire and sometimes some Walmarts have some pretty good deals on some of the cheaper waders. You just have to understand if you're going to be rough and walk through a lot of bushing, those waders are going to tear it pretty quickly. I went out and bought the Sim Estuaries, which I think they're the entry ones. I can't remember the price point on those. Yeah, I bought them. They've got a little extra layer on the knees and all that sort of thing, and I've pretty aggressive walking through bushing, and I've only had one hole in them, and that was from my own hook that I accidentally threw my waders on top of my fly rod.
Oh yeah.
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 I don't know. I think
Like,
it's all about the dedication a person has. Like, if you're gonna be walking a lot, like, get the waders where like you buy like different boots, because those rubber boots like get like blisters on your ankles and stuff because they're just like trash.
yeah.
I've got, where are they?
Yeah, no, if it's summer, just have some old hiking boots and wet weight it. It's the cheapest way to do it.
Yeah.
If you're just getting started and you don't know if you like the sport yet.
Yeah. And then as the years go on, if you start to enjoy it, you can obviously start focusing on what was your weakest point and then upgrading from there. So like I started off with just a pair of like boat wet shoe sort of things on my first season. I wasn't doing a lot of wading, and then I the year after I sort of went a little bit crazy and bought the Sims ultralight versions. They're light as hell. I think they're the G3 from memory, but they're super light and super grippy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't spend much money on waders. I'll get whatever's on sale pretty much, and boots.
Yeah.
Usually it's breathable waders. So in the summer it gets pretty hot, so those breathable ones are nice.
Yeah. And you can also don't forget to check out Marketplace, because you do see a lot of people who end up selling them, especially the start of the year when they're clearing out stuff or looking to upgrade their gear. Obviously, just double check to make sure they haven't got any holes in them and such.
Yeah. For belly boats, what do you guys like in a belly boat? What do you guys look for?
I like ones that come with lots of pockets. So
Yeah.
I've lost a couple pairs of pliers in my belly boats and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'll happen for sure on hooking stuff.
Yeah. And rod holders too. Like it's kind of hard to put a rod holder on like every belly boat. But like it's always nice to have two rods, like a spin and a fly rod, or two different spin rods.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a rod holder on a belly boat.
You can get them. They're those strap. You can get those strap ones, or you can also get the Scotty stick-on pad, and it sticks on, and then you can screw. And it gives you like 4 little bolt holes that you can mount, and then you throw a rod holder. It's really up to however you want to go with it. But I know a lot of guys they'll hold their rod in one hand, and then their second rod they've either collapsed down, they put it in the back little pouch, and they've got a couple of little straps, and they strap it down to make sure it doesn't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Would you ever put a fish finder on a belly boat?
I would if I still had my 4-inch screen, but unfortunately I've got a 9-inch screen, and I'm not sure how that would go on a belly boat.
Panoptics?
Not good.
Live scope?
No, like just grabbing that thing out of the truck to take ice fishing is heavy enough, and that thing ain't getting any lighter.
No.
That's no way. No, I'll never put that in there.
Yeah.
No. The only ever time I'd even think about putting a fish finder on is if I wanted to sort of map the lake in any shape or form. But you can also, if you really want to know the depth of lakes and stuff, you can obviously just throw a pair of, what are they, forceps on the end of your line and just drop it down and then sort of measure it up roughly.
Yeah.
Or you can, if you want to get fancy, you can buy those castable. Garmin makes one. I know there's a brand also Deeper, and it's a ball, and you can tie it off to your belly button. You can just chuck it out there, and it'll measure. I know the better Garmin, you can actually map with it, and it goes straight to your phone. Yeah.
Huh. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Sladen, how's the ice shacks going this year out at Adventure Ice Fishing?
A lot of burbs.
Yeah.
Which is better than the skinny pike.
Yeah.
People are catching fish. I don't know. It's just very grown in. The whole lake is like, well, not like the whole lake, but just a lot of areas where there's usually a little bit of weeds. There's a lot of weeds.
Yeah. I think that has to do with them not pumping water in anymore.
Yeah, that's what my dad thinks too.
Yeah. It's just building up lower oxygen levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I think a lot of fish this year. Well, like, I don't know. It wouldn't make sense. Like, you'd think the fish would be out deeper for more oxygen, but like all the fish are in shallow this year, so I don't know if that has to do with the oxygen levels or what, but they're all in shallow.
Yeah. No, it'll be fun to get out in the summer and chase some walleye again. They're getting pretty chunky.
Yeah, I didn't do too good out there for walleye last year.
No.
I know my dad did, but like good on quantity, not so much size.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're looking healthy at least compared to a few years ago when they're all dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that skeleton anymore.
Yeah, it's just like the pike. I'm starting to see some fatter pike for sure.
Yeah. And the perch are coming back good, it sounds like. So
yeah, but they're smart, let me tell you.
They pulled a quick one on you?
Oh yeah. A couple quick ones.
I know last weekend when me and Dad were out, like we hit one spot, we did good earlier season. Marked nothing, hit another spot. I did okay the year before. Marked a few, but they weren't aggressive. And we went to this new spot, a little drop off kind of pinch point. And instantly Dad hooked up on a nice one. Then he just kept hooking up, like bam, bam, bam. And I could not catch anything for the life of me.
And this is perch.
This is perch, and I couldn't. There, I'd mark one and then go away, or I wouldn't see anything, and he's pulling up another one, and I'm only like 10 feet away, and he's just like till I got the camera down. Then it changed stories, but
they weren't digging the camera, or what? Or you caught more once you got the camera?
I caught more on the camera. The bite was so subtle, like they just come in, suck it in quick, and if you weren't on it, they already spit it out.
Yeah, I never do good perch fishing without a camera, especially because I've been like so used to always ice fishing with the camera.
Yeah,
I like my flash.
Yeah, I've done good, like really good on the flasher before. You just kind of give the slow twitch and lift, just waiting for that weight. But that's the exact same thing my dad was doing, but I could not get them to nibble.
Are you using the bite indicators or anything like that on the end of your rod?
No, we had just the regular light rods.
Because I find a lot, or like with my limited perch fishing, I find especially on those uptakes like you talk about, because I've got one of those bite indicators on there, and even with a 3 mil tungsten, that thing's bent pretty far over, and you can sort of see when you're like lifting up the rod, it'll actually start to straighten out if they're doing an up bite.
Yeah,
and then you just set the hook.
Yeah, usually I have my rod's sensitive enough and my fingers on the line so you can feel that tension, but it just wasn't there for me that day. I don't know if it's just that day or what, because usually I'm fine with the flasher just doing the nice easy lift, but no.
I think your dad's just a better fisherman.
Probably. He sent me a picture Monday and they got their limit of whiteys already by like 10, so who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Are you gonna get out for perch or what, Brodyn?
Yeah, I'll probably sneak off a couple of days, just here and there. I know there's going to be a couple of lakes that they'll have ice on opener still, so I'll probably hit them up beforehand.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a bit of perching in the summertime. I've got a few lakes I've got a few spots. I know they sort of congregate.
Nice.
And now with live scope, I'll just chase them down.
Vexlar.
I've got that too, but it's just like I can't run a Vexlar on. Well, I could run a Vexlar on the kayak, but the Garmin mounts so nicely on the fish finder mount.
Yeah. And you don't have spot lock, so
I have spot lock.
on your Vexlar?
Oh no, that you mean bottom lock?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have bottom lock on that.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about spot lock as in like staying in one spot. Yeah, it's called an anchor.
Yeah. I'll get spot lock this year on the trolling motor.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah. No, it is good.
Hook it up to the Garmin, then let it do its thing.
Yeah.
Autopilot, catch fish.
Yeah, that's what we do when we catch whites. We just put our trolling motor on autopilot. It's pretty deadly.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, whitey season's coming when the lake's open.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, we always hit that. My dad likes to go. We usually go ultralights, but I like it better on the fly rod.
Yeah.
But ultralights are a lot of fun, like a little 3.5, 4 foot rod, something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ultralights are deadly. Fly rods are deadly. What do you like to use for hooks when you're chasing them?
We usually just use like little spoons, but like really little, like that big, like tiny.
Yeah.
My whitey kit's in the boat, but yeah, and then for flies, like I'll do like the double. I'll usually do like a San Juan worm, and then just like I don't know. Sometimes like they're like bigger black chromatids, just like kind of like black sinking bug. That'll do good. Or like little bugs under a bobber on an ultralight. That also does good.
Yeah. Clayton has a question for you.
Yeah, I will for sure. You know.
Is that an inside joke?
I
Maybe
don't
not.
know. I did pretty good walking the first day we went fishing. I was good.
I think it's an inside joke. What what kind of depth do you like fishing for your whiteys in the spring there?
Usually like probably anywhere from like 8 to like 13 feet, but like usually as soon as you start to hit that like 14, 15 feet, can't really see the bottom even with your Polaroids on, and you kind of need to see the bottom because sight fishing them is just the way to go.
Yeah, that's a blast. Hopefully Brodyn catches a whitefish this year.
I do well on every other species except that one.
We'll get you out in the spring.
Oh, well, yeah.
You'll have to leave your kayak at home.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I've got a new ultralight rod in the mail coming, so that's going to be good. Nice 7-foot rod.
Oh yeah, nice.
7 foot ultralight.
Yeah,
deadly.
I grew up, well, in Australia, we used to fish for perch and trout. I used to run 7-foot ultralights. So you seem to be, and when I came over here and the people talk about ultralights and they're talking 5, 6, 5-foot rods, I'm like, no, I don't like the length. Like you can still cast pretty well with them, but I like the line control you get with that 7-foot range. It's a lot just nicer, and you can get that little bit extra oomph if you want to cast to a log or something a little bit further out and not spook the fish. So
yeah, I think J-Naps heard someone talking about whitefish and showed up.
The only whitefish pictures I see of him are in his sink.
Yeah, so they're tasty. I love eating whitefish. They're good meat.
Yeah.
I like them smoked.
Yeah, for sure. I smoked a bunch this year. You get a good feed to smoke and do a nice. I did some candied whitefish this year, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I was supposed to say my dad also did some candied whitefish, and it was pretty good too.
Nice.
He needs to up his game a bit though on the candied whitefish.
Calling out poor Jared. Yeah, I like that. Like in that spring, like you could be fishing 4 feet with the fly rod for those whiteys, and you just target those groups. Poor man's bonefish, right? Sand flats, nice sunny day. It's just a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just use, like you said, small spoons, tiny woolly buggers, San Juan worms, anything with a bead head pretty much, but it has to be small.
Yeah. I don't know. I find like the gold bead head works so much better than silver. That's just what I find.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I find that not just, well, more so on trout too. I find a lot of gold, especially on some of the rivers up around Rocky Mountain House. Gold beads seem to just catch more fish.
Yeah, 100% on your nymphs. Yeah. Stimulator droppers, kill it.
Hopper dropper.
No hopper dropper.
I like the hopper dropper.
No stimulator dropper.
No. Then you go hopper double dropper.
Then you need a Betty White fly though.
Yeah, that's a whole heap of chaos going on with that.
The only thing about the double hopper dropper is you get snagged, you're down like $15 right there.
Just run a smaller line on your bottom hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to like a 6X on your bottom. I always go to 5X. I have no problem with a 5X half the time, unless I'm going strictly for monsters.
Yeah.
See, but how are you connecting your knot? Every time I go lighter line, that knot will always break where it's connected to my main line and like my other lure.
I don't go to my main line. I go off my hook.
Like the hook shank?
Yeah, off the back.
Yeah. So if you ever look into, do you tie it all yourself? Yeah. So what you can always do, what I've done with a few of my streamers and such, I get a piece of like 10-pound fluoro or something, and I'll do a little loop piece on the back of the hook, and I'll tie that in before I do any of my other stuff. And so then you can do a tag on the back instead of having it, because I like to crush my barbs. I just back, because especially they're just easier because I'm always catching and releasing those fish. So then you can just tie a knot on the back of them and then so on. I find that's really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. It's actually pretty interesting.
I just go off right here, tie it. You're never gonna lose it, because even with a crushed barb, you got that lip, so it stops it from going over. Yeah. My clacker here is. So you got that. Even see, this is pinched barb because it's from BC bass fishing, but that line still can't get over there, and it's always right there. And if you put it right here when you're floating, it's just going to come down on that angle and go. And yeah, as long as I like 2 feet there, so they'll drag perfectly. And lots of time those cutties, when they're right, most of the time they're hugged up against a shelf where that riffle's dropping in, so that thing just bounces, get it high enough above there, so that nymph's bouncing, then drops, and they're just gonna take it. Those droppers are killers.
Yeah,
I'm all about the white dome craft for the cutties.
Dome is home.
I've never used the dome craft.
Really?
Yeah,
I've probably caught more fish on a dome craft than any other lure, to be honest.
Really? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're good for that faster water for sure. They drop like a rock.
Yeah, and like lake trout, like pounded a lot of lake trout on them this year, like a lot.
Yeah.
I
Lake
plan on
trout
getting
like
a few
that
at the show.
fast action, and they got really good vibration on their upstroke. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Abraham will be fun. Might have to take the boat on as soon as the ice is off.
If there's not like 70-kilometer winds.
We used to take tinnies on there.
Yeah, because I thought Abraham, there's no gas motors are allowed.
Oh, you can have gas motors.
I don't know if I've ever seen a boat in Abraham.
Well, we used to take tinnies on in June, I think. Every June we'd go camp out there. And I think the biggest laker we got was like 15 pounds.
It's a good one.
Adam got it. It was a chunk. But then we've got like 5-pounders and like 7-pounders, but that's just like barely moving with the trolling motor, just ripping jigs off the bottom.
Yep.
With a twister tail.
Yeah, my biggest laker actually comes out of the dam on the back of the lake. Like
Yeah.
on the river out of the dam, yeah. I did really good on that dam this year, man.
Yeah, that was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, big bulls, like 2 30-inch bulls. Right from the same hole. Two different fish.
Just stacked up.
2 different. Nice. That's
Well,
pretty
and
good.
it's like a lot of people don't know how to fish the spot. Every time I see people fishing it, they don't know how to fish it because it's like super currenty, but like those big fish, they can withstand that current. They'll be right out in that current, right out in the middle of it. They don't care.
Yep.
You got to fish all that stuff.
I've been in rivers and hooked up to a bull trout and had that thing swimming straight upstream against falls and stuff. And like, if it's fighting a rod as well as swimming upstream, you know they can handle a bit of current.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they'll sit anywhere. It really does not matter.
Yeah. It's like big salmon.
Yep.
They're crazy. Don't bring your pike rod for big salmon. They'll spool you. I was like, the first time me and Aaron went up to Terrace to meet up with my buddy, I was like, I'll just use my pike rod for a couple casts. Then I just hooked into this, and it was just like, gone. Then his sturgeon rod after that the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, I think I'd pull out the sturgeon rod.
That's what I had to use, and even then, so sometimes it's not a match when you're catching 30+ pound chum.
Yeah,
you got to run downstream with them pretty good.
Yeah, I think the one rod I have would withstand pretty good. The one sturgeon rod I use, it actually is a salmon rod.
Yeah,
I got it in Ontario. Where's my old man? But,
yeah, it's crazy to think when people don't realize that you'd be catching like in that same water, you've got like 5 or 10, and like you said, even 30-pound all in the one hole. And if you get hit by one of those big fish, good luck stopping that thing with a pike rod.
Yeah,
unless you got a lot of line.
I don't know. I had no control over that fish. I think it was that day we like crushed it. I think me and Aaron both got steelhead. I got some chum. She got a sockeye and a pink that day. And that was our first time salmon fishing. But he's like, I got to go work. You guys just go here, check these spots out. And we're just like banging. We're sending pictures to him at work. He's like, holy. And it was like an amazing day. It was awesome.
Nice.
But every time up there, we have a great time and crush some big fish. Not this year, but next year. Hopefully, we'll be back.
Yeah. I got to make a trip out that way again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting up there this year for sure. I want to catch a salmon really bad.
Take the tracker.
Yeah.
Are you going to get a rooftop tent for that thing?
I was looking into one, and you can actually get them pretty good used.
Yeah.
Man, that's like super ideal.
Yeah, it's nice if you're like moving around a lot.
Or like if you want to like sleep on a river that's like super rocky and doesn't have like much of a bank to sleep on. A little hard to put a tent on the ground there.
Yeah.
I've seen a few people rocking the Princess Auto rooftop tents and actually liking them too, and they're pretty decent price.
Yeah, I've heard good reviews on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe get one for the truck. I don't know. Just for trips to the Yukon and BC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If we're moving around a bit, like driving to the Yukon 24 hours, so half the time you just pull off somewhere at a creek or something and sleep beside the road.
Yeah.
But that's when it's ideal.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch some grayling, then move on.
Mm-hmm.
Or Arctic char.
Yeah, that's another fish I got to catch this year. Got to catch a grayling.
I got a spot for you. It's the big hole of dreams. It's filled of them. And some big bulls in there.
Like down by, I think I know where you're talking. Like down by like Hinton area, like down there.
In a top secret location. Down many gravel roads.
It's the one where you'll catch a bunch of like 10, 11-inch grayling and all of a sudden get smoked by a 30-inch bull trout just cruising through.
There's some big bulls in there we've seen. But there's some big grayling too.
Yeah, there's a few 14s and 15s out of there, isn't there?
Oh, we've got some good ones. Like, I haven't been there for a few years, but I told some buddies to go up this year and they did good. Like, it's cast after cast, you catch one. After a while, it's like, keep away. Just trying to wait for the bigger one to grab it.
Yeah. But that's the thing with grayling, especially when you find that school, they're just super aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're a fish that pretty much bites anything.
Yeah.
But they got a little mouse, don't they?
They're like a whitefish kind of. Not the same mouth, but still.
Yeah.
They run in the fall, so we were always up for moose camp, so go hunt in the morning, grayling fish in the afternoon, go hunting again.
Yeah, it's deadly.
But what is one fish you guys want to catch this year to knock off your list?
Golden trout.
It's funny. That's what I was gonna say too.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to get a kokanee.
Kokanee?
Yeah, I think that's like one of like the coolest like freshwater fish to me.
I think those have eluded me. I don't think I've caught one. Aaron's caught them, of course. We were in a little lake up in the Yukon, and she caught a couple. I didn't catch one. The same as when we went Arctic char fishing. She caught a couple Arctic char, and I didn't get one. But she just can't come fishing anymore, I guess.
Yeah, I seen Ty Batty went down from this year, and it just looked so fucking freaking cool. Like, man, I'd want to do it really bad.
For the kokanee or the Arctic char?
The kokanee, but I think like every trout and salmon, I think you got to be hitting at the right time. So
yeah, for sure. I know kokanee probably your closest place is BC, I guess.
Yeah.
I think there's Moose Lake, has some just past Jasper. Then what's that one by Jaffrey and stuff and Warner? There's that big lake right there. I can't remember what it's called. Someone probably knows. But it has kokanee in it too. That comes out, goes into the Kootenai River, goes into it. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Yeah. And, hopefully in a few years I might even find an Ikonu.
A what?
An Ikonu. Inkanu.
Oh,
Sorry, Inkanu.
Yeah. I saw a guy catch one once across the river from me. So the next day I went there to try to catch one. I didn't catch one.
From what I've
Just
been
great.
told, you need to pick it. The best time to catch them is when Great Slave is frozen in the middle, but you've got 100 yard of like open water from the shore, and fish that river because they're normally eating a bunch of like grayling, and they're like,
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? In canoe?
it's
It's
basically a whitefish on steroids.
it's a whitefish crossed with a tarpon.
Can you
Yeah.
catch them in Alberta, or you got to go to
No.
Alberta?
You
You gotta
got
go north.
Great Slave Lake.
Northwest
they're,
Territories, Yukon,
Yeah,
all
there's
has them.
there's reports of them being over 50 inch and stuff like that. So,
That'd be
but
crazy.
possibly, but that's like you're doing pretty well if you catch a 40-inch one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know like a few people that have gone. I think I was talking to Kevin Wilson one day, and he's been up there with a guy in the Yukon, and he's got one guy he knows that's pretty dialed on him, and he went up with them and caught some, and they're supposed to be pretty sweet fish to catch. Yeah, that'd be a good one. I always forget about them, and I really want one.
Just such
Next
a big
year.
drive. Yeah,
Not
it's a
this
big
year,
drive.
next year.
Oh yeah.
We'd probably get one in 26 hours. If we left right now, 26 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So we can get to Whitehorse in 24.
Yeah.
Call Kevin Wilson for his hookup. Meet that guy. Go catch the Inkanuk. Be victorious. Then come back.
We could also do not really a detour, but basically get slading at grayling up there too.
Oh, there's grayling all the whole way up.
And you'll forever be disappointed with Alberta grayling after that.
Yeah. There's a river on the BC Yukon border that I've caught some tanks out of. And they're like that dark purple, like the sweet ones.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome. And it's right off the Alaska Highway, so
No,
pretty nice.
I had a buddy go up to Great Slave chasing grayling, and he had 3 at 20-inch within about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he sent me a video of them all. I'm just like, hey, don't send me this.
Yeah. Aren't
they just-
she-fish and Inkanu's the same thing?
I thought so.
I think so. Clayton said he's going.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
it's-
sweet.
No, they're an awesome fish, and like I've seen plenty of photos of those things, and they look like a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get an art char too. They're delicious. I know when we caught those ones, we kept them. See, it was from catching a stocked lake, so the one was a little big. It was like a 5 pound. The other one was like 16 inches. But that night we met up with my parents at a campground and barbecued one. Then when we were in BC, met up salmon fishing. We did another one there, and they're really good.
Because if you went straight north, you're still looking at about a 24-hour hike to get to your first Arctic char, aren't you?
I know. Let's see, 20-hour drive to the lake I know of.
The one just over the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just outside of Watson Lake.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Who knows? You can go for the dollies here. There's that one lake with the Dolly Vartan.
Yeah. No, they were talking about poisoning that lake and getting rid of them or something, weren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that'd be one thing to knock off the list too.
Dolly would be cool.
They're real nice fish.
Yeah. Good.
But
that lake's got brook trout in it as well, doesn't it? I think. Something.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
What they got there.
Yeah.
I think didn't they poison that one that was in the park too? That other one that was full of cutties?
I think. Oh, there you go.
I thought
Clayton
that was
is a
in the
wealth.
park.
He's a wealth of knowledge with this stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But
Cuts. Yeah. Okay.
anywho.
Yeah.
Well, we better call it. We've been late. We were late already. My day was pretty hectic, so thanks for being on, guys. I don't know. The show might be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear for the next, it might be kind of hit and miss the next month, so bear with us. But yeah, I know we might have Ricky on next week. I know he said he wanted to come on. Then supposed to have Lisa and Amber and Tasha on 28th, I think the week after. But we'll see how the house is going. We'll see what the baby's doing, if it wants out or not. So I'll be playing it by ear for the next probably month. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon. Brodyn, where can they find you?
Find me on Facebook at Brodyn Smith, and then on Instagram, Frodo Goes on an Adventure.
That's why I did that Cold Lake music for you on the video. The adventure music. That sounded like Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Sladen, where can they find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, it's just Pike Slayer 65, and then on Facebook, it's just Kayden Littlejohn.
Yeah, so check him out. He's always got new videos coming out. Up and Rising Super Angler.
Yeah.
We will see you guys maybe next week, maybe the week after, maybe the week after, maybe the week after. All right. Cheers. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you guys too.